Fresh violence in India's Manipur state, putting an end to 2 weeks of calm after gunmen allegedly shot dead 3 members of the minority Kuki community. Local media say those killed were people entrusted with protecting a Kuki village. The Indian Army and police are conducting a joint operation to find those responsible. Local authorities have also strengthened security measures. Just days ago, in his Independence Day address, the Indian Prime Minister had declared that peace was returning to the state. Since May, clashes in Manipur have claimed more than 160 lives and displaced around 50,000 people. And for more on this, we speak to Neha Punya live from New Delhi. Neha, how are Manipur residents reacting to this latest fresh round of violence?
This latest attack comes after 2 weeks of relative but tense peace in Manipur, but most locals say it speaks of the kind of distrust that still exists between the two warring communities. Local officials have described this attack as premeditated, planned and unprovoked. They're saying these were 3 men who were guarding a village in the region of Ukhrul when a mob entered that area and opened fire. Some reports indicate their bodies were mutilated as well, and the army has now been brought in to that region to ensure there's better security. Now, it's important to note that this particular region had not seen too much unrest since this since the ethnic clashes first started in May in Manipur. But locals say that it's a tense situation on the ground because in the last few weeks, several police armories have been looted, and many gangs from both communities are roaming the streets, heavily armed as well. And a lot of the attacks that take place are similar to this one, where mobs enter one locality and target people from the other community. This is despite tens of thousands of army personnel being stationed there on the ground in Manipur.
Neha, as we mentioned just before we crossed you, the Prime Minister in his Independence Day speech just days ago said peace had returned to the state. Well, clearly this issue is not going away. What is the government going to be doing now?
Certainly, most critics agree that this has become the biggest political challenge Prime Minister Modi is facing as he prepares for a re-election bid in the summer of 2024. We've not heard from the government on this immediately, but Prime Minister Modi's party, the BJP, which is also in power in Manipur, has said it is working to ensure that peace is returned to that region. They are talking about the probe committees that have been formed to look into the various instances of sexual violence that have come out of Manipur as well. But for the opposition, that hasn't cut much ice. The Congress party holding several events today, they've once again attacked Prime Minister Modi, saying that he hasn't had the courage to go to Manipur, instead saying that the 2 times he's spoken on Manipur, one was too brief when he mentioned Manipur in his Independence Day speech, and the other time they say his hand was forced when that no confidence motion was brought in Parliament 2 weeks ago. But the government maintains it is holding talks with both communities, and this is not something that can be resolved overnight, given that many of these issues date back several decades. But it does say that it is working with the state government to ensure that the security situation normalizes there sooner rather than later.
Well, thanks, Neha Punya, live from New Delhi.